Hi, everyone. My name is Steve Phelps, and I'm an instructional technology consultant at the Hamilton County Educational Services Center here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Um, I work with district leaders, school administrators, and teachers in all content areas and at all grades to help them leverage instructional technologies to improve student learning. I also develop and facilitate professional development across all content areas, typically with different G Suite for Education tools, but also with some STEM and STEAM tools. In this portfolio, my students should be considered the teachers that I work with, unless noted otherwise in my contextualizations. So how have I used the Iste standards for educators to support my role as an instructional technology coach, and how has my practice changed? Well, honestly, before I started, I'm in year two. I'm in year two of my role as an instructional technology coach. I was always very techie as a math teacher. I knew of the SD standards, but I never really took time to unpack them and kind of dive into them like I have been over the last, say, 6 months or so. So I could probably say before this course and before this portfolio process, I never really used them or I never considered using them. But how have I grown? I think let me go through the standards. As a learner, I've been always wanting to continually try to improve and grow and to read, to find new things, to try new things. I don't think that has changed, but I think the ISTE standards have provided a little bit of focus in that regard. As a leader, I've been, I think, a little more willing to work with the administrators and other district leaders and more comfortable in that role. And but using that access to them to stick up for the teachers and their technology needs. As a citizen, I think I've become more aware of privacy, student privacy, and that is always at the forefront when I'm working with teachers or when I'm discussing technology issues with district leaders or administrators. As a collaborator, I think I've always collaborated. I've been a little more, I think, aware of how I collaborate, what things I offer, and I try to, I think, ask more questions of the people I'm collaborating with rather than provide a whole lot of solutions right up front. As a designer, I think I have been probably grown most in the area of being a designer. I think I have tried to create learning experiences for the teachers and their students that respect their voice and choice, which I never really did much of that before. I tried to differentiate, but never provided the options that respected what the teachers and their students had to say. And I think as a facilitator, I will continue kind of to always kind of embed my technology coaching in the DST standards, and also to try to help the other teachers to be aware of those standards and to consider those standards when they're using them with their students. As an analyst, I was a statistics teacher for a long time. I've always been all for using data. I still use data. I think I'm a little more overt in how I use the data and what I'm collecting it for. What am I particularly proud of? I would say the two things that I'm particularly proud of are my HyperDoc applications. One, for the differentiation with Google Tools. This was going to be actually a big, large Google tool workshop. The pandemic hit, it went virtual, and so we focused more on HyperDoc things. That also led to the Twitter presentation, which was in Google Slides, but we embedded HyperDoc elements in the Google Slides. I was particularly proud of that, and I think that's kind of the best work I did in the portfolio. And my goals for using digital tools going forward, I think I want to continue to expand my promoting voice and choice for teachers and students. I want to continue to always start with instructional goals that the teachers have for their students when figuring out what is a good digital tool to use that will help them to teach their students. I always want to continue to start with standards and try to figure out which digital tools will help me implement those standards. Personally, I would like to kind of start a YouTube channel, a tech channel, YouTube channel, if you will, for my team at the ESC, my Educational Service Center. I would also like to either start weekly or biweekly tech chats with teachers in this area and maybe expand that to other surrounding states as well. This has been an awesome process. I'm glad and sad. I'm glad it's done because it's been challenging, but I'm sad at the same time to see it be over.